everyone, welcome to the cloud computing session 24. So in the previous session we have seen the points related to the network which is needed to access the services, and also how the network helps the cloud providers. In today's session we'll see how the network connection helps the cloud consumers. So clients located at major sites normally access applications over the corporate WAN. For small offices or mobile workers, accelerated internet services provide a more robust solution. So the clients are accessing the cloud services from various locations. So some of the clients uses the corporate WAN to access the services from the cloud, and smaller offices or the mobile workers, some of them they use accelerated internet services. So we already discussed in the previous session about the accelerated internet service. It is nothing but a basic internet which is layered with the extra softwares for security, so that your internet connection is secured with more layers, and user can access the cloud. So in that we have some of the network related points, that is pipe size. So pipe size is needed to decide how much bandwidth you need. So from the pipe size you'll understand how much bandwidth you need, and there are three factors that are simply out of your control when it comes to how much bandwidth you need. So in the previous session I told you something about the bandwidth. Bandwidth is nothing but the speed, means how fastly you can access the cloud services. The speed is measured here. Bandwidth is nothing but the speed of your network and how much data is transferred per second. So that is measured here. So pipe side decide how much bandwidth you need to access the services. And if there is no fast internet, if there is no speed to your internet connection, then you cannot access the cloud service. It's better not to access it, because you need proper bandwidth and your internet connection should be fast. So let us see the three factors that are simply out of control, that is the internet bandwidth between your organization and the cloud. So internet bandwidth between your organization, so how much bandwidth you need. Okay, it cannot be said that how much bandwidth you need between your organization and the cloud, but if you want to access the services from the cloud, the internet speed must be good. The round trip time between your organization and the cloud. So round trip time, so the response from the cloud to the organization must be fast. So response is very important here, because the users don't have that much patience to wait for a long time. So even that round trip time should be not longer. So within a less time, the request should be fulfilled. The response time of the cloud. So the response time, as I told you about the response time, that is when the request is submitted and when the response is given to the organization. So these all factors are sometimes out of control when it comes to how much bandwidth you need. So in terms of bandwidth, you cannot say how much time it may take. So if there is a slow internet, the round trip time may increase and even the response time may increase. Next is upstream and downstream. So if your connection with the cloud is symmetric, then means you are sending and receiving data at the same rate. So upstream and downstream is that which type of connection it is. It is a upstream connection or it is a downstream. Upstream connection means internet speed is fast and bandwidth is also good, and downstream means internet speed is down and sending and receiving requests are also not receiving on the time. It is very slow. So as I told you, if your connection with the cloud is symmetric, that means you are sending and receiving data at the same rate. If your connection is asymmetric, then data sent from your organization at a slower rate than you are receiving it. So symmetric is data rate is same, and asymmetric means data rate is slower. That means transmission of data from source to destination, that is considered. Data moves through different routers and network appliances. So your speed will vary from time to time. It may not be noticeable, but it does change. So as I told you, uh, even if the bandwidth sometimes even if the bandwidth is good, but due to the situation, we cannot say that how the network changes. Okay, so whenever the data is moving through the routers and network, it may also speed may also vary from time to time. So it may not be noticeable, but it does change. Yes, the speed changes when it is moving from router to one router to another router, or network to network. So we don't have the control over this. That's what we have discussed in the first point. We don't have the control over these factors. How the bandwidth changes. Perform an internet connection test several times a day to check bandwidth. So the best option for this is keep on checking the internet connection, keep on testing it to check the bandwidth. So the usage of bandwidths can be seen. It will show in a graph chart. Okay, you can see that in a graph chart or in an analysis chart to check out the bandwidth, the performance of your internet connection. Next is redundancy. So network redundancy is nothing but it is a process through which additional or alternate instances of network devices, equipment and communication mediums are installed within network infrastructure. So it is a method for ensuring network availability in case of a network device or path failure or unavailability. So redundancy takes place when there is additional alternate instances like network devices, equipment and communication mediums are installed within network. And due to this, if one of the network devices or the equipment fails, then what happens? Does the network will be still available, or does it is going to affect the whole network? So it is a method for ensuring network availability in case of a network device failure or unavailability. So ask your service provider to configure your accompanying infrastructure for redundancy and failure. So the internet service provider, they can keep on checking this, they can test this, how the network internet connection redundancy. So if some of the network devices or equipments fail, then how the network is going to behave, how the internet connection is going to behave in such case, on which part it is going to affect. So they can conduct the test on this. If your LAN redundancy used to mean the another server in your LAN redundancy used to mean that another server or two were added to the data center in case there was a problem. So you can come up with the solutions even if it is a redundancy occurs. So what is the solution? So you can see two were added to the data center and in case there was a problem. So you can come up with some solution when there is a problem arises. And what is the solution? Whether you can use another server or data center. These days with virtualization, redundancy might mean a virtual server being cloned onto the same device or all the virtual servers of one machine being cloned on a second physical server. So we already studied about the virtualization because virtualization, see redundancy might mean a virtual server being cloned on the same device. So virtualization is nothing but there is only one server and on one server only more RAM will be implemented, more computing power, more resources will be there. And many users can access those from the same server. So virtualization helps there to fulfill all the requests of the many servers through the virtualization. Virtualization server will be cloned and the users feel that they are using the physical server and they are using their own server. They will feel that they don't feel that they are using the virtual server. So in today's session, we have completed the remaining parts of the network. In the next section, we'll see some new topic. Thank you.